Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday, March 4th, 2025 Town Council meeting. We'll do a roll call. Councilor Chiricello?
Good evening.
Councilor Webb?
Hello.
Councilor Foote?
Good evening.
Councilor Flood?
Hi.
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 Councilor Ganesi?
Good evening.
Councilman Geckern is not going to be able to join us this evening, and good evening from the chair. Councilor Flood, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Is there a motion to open public forum?
Second.
All right, we had a motion by, I think, Councilor Webb, and a second by Councilor Ganesi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, public forum is open. If you'd like to speak, feel free to come up. Just state your name and address for the record. Anyone online?
We're seeing none. Rise online, Madam
Move to
Chair.
close.
All right, we have a motion to close public forum and a second by Councilor Foote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or abstentions? All right, public forum is closed. We have a few items on the consent agenda to approve the minutes from February 4th, 2025. We also have Resolution 2025-010 to apply for a housing infrastructure grant from the Department of Business and Economic Affairs, and there'll be a public hearing on March 18th. And Resolution 2025-011 to accept a gift for a fire training facility and transfer funds from the Fire Capital Reserve Fund, and there'll be a hearing for that also on March 18th.
Make a motion that we approve.
All right, motion to accept the consent agenda? Is there, oh, sorry, what was? Oh, do you want to do them separately? Yeah. Okay. That's okay, so we'll start, we'll do them separately. We'll do the minutes first. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes of February 4th.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilor Chiricello to approve the minutes from February 4th, second by Councilor Ganesi. On the motion, Councilor Chiricello?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Foote?
Abstain.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Ganesi?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion passes 5-0-1. And then the other two items, the two resolutions, items number 2519 and 2520.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, motion by Councilor Chiricello to approve, second by Councilor Foote. On the motion, Councilor Chiricello?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Foote?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Ganesi?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion passes 6-0. Okay, moving right along. Well, we're 3 minutes in. We're to the chair's report. Doing good. All right. First up, under the chair's report tonight, we have just a update and presentation on our elections next week with Town Clerk Tina Guilford and Town Moderator Dave Nelson presenting.
I guess it's just me. Sorry. Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
As you know, we are voting next Tuesday, March 11th, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Pinkerton Academy. The voter checklist is currently closed. It closed on Saturday. So if you need to register to vote, you will need to do so at the election. There have been some changes to elections and voter registration. You now need to bring all of your documents. There are no affidavits. So you need to bring a photo ID, a state-issued driver's license, a state-issued ID, a passport, a military ID. You need to bring an ID. You need to establish residency. That can be a utility bill, it can be your lease agreement, it can be your closing paperwork on your house, it can be a notarized letter from whoever you live with. You need to bring proof of citizenship. A birth certificate, a passport, a pass card, naturalization papers. You must bring it with you. We will turn you away if you do not bring everything that you need. If you have recently changed your name, you must bring proof of your name change. So if you've gotten married and you want to update your name because you've already changed it on your driver's license, you do need to bring your marriage certificate with you that shows your maiden name and now your name is different. If you've done a legal name change through the courts since you last voted and you need to update your name, you need to bring that paperwork with you as well. So that is voter registration, okay? Also, to vote, you must bring a photo ID. There used to be, if you forgot your ID, they'd take your Polaroid picture and you'd fill out an affidavit and it'd be followed up on by the Attorney General's office. That affidavit no longer exists. If you do not have a photo ID, we will not be able to allow you to vote. If for some reason you can't come and vote in person on Tuesday, my office is open 7 to 4, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we will have Sunday hours from 2 to 4 for absentee ballots. And on Monday, we will be open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And absentee ballots must be returned either on Monday by 5 p.m. here in the town clerk's office, otherwise they must be returned at the polls by 5 p.m. Last, we have new voting machines in Derry. Our town council approved new voting machines in October of 2023. We approved the image cast machine. So they are a little bit different. They kind of work the same way. You're going to put your ballot into the machine's going to take it. One thing that is different is that you're going to see what you see up there on the screen, that your ballot has successfully been cast, and you're going to see a green check. So please wait for the green check before you put in your second ballot. Because as you know, this is a town and school election, so people will have a town ballot and a school ballot. So please, when you put in one, wait for the green check before you put in the next one. Wait to see the green check before you walk away. All right, and did you have any questions?
Oh, sorry.
It will advise you that you need to have a poll worker assist you. It is very clear.
I just want to clarify, if we can go back to the screen about someone registering. So somebody that did just move to town, if they have not changed their ID does not have to have the new address yet.
Correct.
That just is identity. So I just want to make sure people realize, like, the residency, they can still come with their, Vermont ID that they haven't changed over yet, but it just has to establish identity, and the residency piece is separate with the lease agreements or
Correct.
utility bills.
Although if they've already registered their cars in New Hampshire, bring in your vehicle registration.
Oh, okay.
Because that is one of the fastest ways that we can get you through.
Thank you.
Because if they bring in their vehicle registration, then they don't have to fill out the attestation form.
Okay.
That's already accepted.
Great. Any other questions?
No.
Great. I hope to see lots of voters on Election Day. Thank you.
Me too. I would like to see lots of voters on Election Day as well. Okay, next item up is an appointment to the Manchester Transit Authority CART Board. And I would like to make a motion to that we nominate Bev Donovan to the CART Advisory Board with a term to expire at a time a successor is appointed and qualified.
Second?
I didn't think that was going to be controversial. No. All right, so the motion and second by Councilor Ganesi. Is there any discussion before we take a vote?
Nope.
Okay. Councilor Chiarcello?
Yes.
Councilor Webb?
Yes.
Councilor Foot?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Ganesi?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. I do have a couple other quick things that I want to go over. One is just, for those that don't know, Representative Chris Pappas's office has started office hours in the room right off of the big room here. They are here on Tuesdays from 10 to 12, so just want to put that word out there. I met with the woman who was here representing his office today. She's very, very nice and very open to people from not just Derry, but also surrounding communities. If you have anything you want to bring to them, please feel free to come in during those office hours. Since they don't have a official office in Derry, they wanted to be here at least on a regular cadence to be able to answer questions or hear concerns from constituents. So please utilize that resource. Next up, I want to say thank you. We have two counselors who have their last meeting with us this evening. So Counselor Chiricello and Counselor Flood. I want to thank you both for serving on the council, and also I've said this before to others as well, that I look to both of you for different reasons, kind of a bellwether on things. And I think that you will definitely be missed, and I'm sure we'll look forward to who replaces you, but also we'll miss you very much as well on the council. You both bring a lot of valuable input. So thank you both, and enjoy not being here every other Tuesday. Yes, we would
Yeah,
like
you
it.
should.
No, I don't know if anybody else, if either of you would like to say anything, please feel free, but I won't put you on the spot to do so.
You want me to say something now or at the end?
It's totally up to you. It's up to you.
All right, I'll wait till the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right. I know, I can't wait. All right. With that, then, I just wanted to say that early on before we got to the end, and I forgot about it. So with that, I will turn it over to Dave Karen or Mike Fowler for his report. We have options.
As you can see, we're tag teaming it through the end of the fiscal year. There are three areas to look at this evening very briefly. On finances, our CFO reports that our revenue trends are still doing quite well. We've exceeded the annual budgeting estimates for both building permits and interest earnings, which is good news. And also, I'm required under a past council directive from many years ago to announce the police detail special rate is now at $95 an hour for this year, and the cruiser rate, which is set by the FEMA rate, is at $22.91. Regarding legislation, we tracked three bills the last couple weeks, and a couple more this week. I'll report on those at the next meeting. Senate Bill 115 seeks to appropriate almost $29 million to implement Phase 2 of that regional water project, which the town's a critical partner in. Senate Finance recommended the bill 6-0, but historically they then tabled it. So have ways and means to look at the entire budget as they move closer to the end of the legislative process. HB 147 would have expanded exemptions for nonprofits. Right now, you're required to use the structure. They were going to have a blanket exemption, so you didn't have to use the structure, so we submitted testimony in opposition. And I'm not sure the committee has exec that bill as of yet. The third bill was HB 314. That's been on the radar for the last 4 years. It would have prohibited the use of funds for lobbying, such as Municipal Association, the Town Clerks Association. And this bill also would have prohibited any, for example, counselor, if you receive a stipend, from testifying before the legislature unless you're registered as a lobbyist. There was little appetite for that bill. So immediately after the hearing, the administrative committee at the House level voted to retain the bill, which means they may look at it in September. Happen this year. And as far as projects, if you've noticed, the new fire station is still in bubble wrap, which and it appears nothing's being done, but it couldn't be the contrary is actually the truth. They actually have finished the brick facade on the back of the building, and they probably have about 70% of the east side of the building all completed. The second floor interior walls are sheetrock. A lot of the electrical's run. They actually has put the primer on the walls on the second floor, and the sheetrock arrived for the first floor. And looking at it, you know, the first two contractors being the site contractor and the one for the foundations and the flat work, those are about 90% done. But the rest of the contracts are pretty much exceeded the 75 completion rate. So we're really turning the corner. So I think Mike's been doing a great job of managing that project for us, And we keep hearing of, we hope it's May, but realistically in September, so I suspect it'll be somewhere in the middle, but they're moving right along, which is great news for us. And that concludes my report for this evening.
I turned my microphone off there. All right, then we only have one item under new business this evening, item 2521, which is Resolution 2025-009, to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Londonderry to provide wastewater services. We have Director of Public Works listed here, Mike Fowler, and Deputy Director Tom Carrier presenting.
All right. I think what I'll do is I'll go down to the podium there and sit next to Tom, and we'll go through our presentation real quick. I'll start off here. Good evening. So purpose of this discussion this evening is to have the town council review and endorse an intermunicipal agreement. It's an amendment to an existing agreement that we have had with Londonderry. They're asking for additional capacity to support properties on the east side of the Woodmont project off of the Exit 4A area. They're looking to increase the capacity that they can purchase from the town of Derry from 500,000 gallons per day current to 750,000 gallons per day. So Tom has been at the forefront of making the amendments to the agreement, and I'll let him talk a few more of the specifics that are contained within.
Quick background. So Derry has had an intermunicipal agreement with Londonderry since 1981 when we constructed the wastewater treatment plant lagoons. That agreement was amended, revised, and updated back in 2021, which limited Londonderry's capacity to 500,000 gallons a day and treated Londonderry as a customer, single user. They paid Derry's retail rates for usage. They also paid for the additional capacity at increments of 25,000 gallons a day. So that was an annual payment made to the town of Derry based on our current wastewater accessibility fee charge, which is the same fee that we charge any new user coming onto the Derry system. As Mike commented, the town of Londonderry came to us last year and asked us to consider expanding that 500,000 gallons a day to 750, predominantly for the Woodmont project, the area east of Route 93, in the area of the 4A corridor. In looking at it, the first thing we did is I had updated our wastewater facilities plan back in 2023. And one of the interesting notes when we did that is they assessed our current flows coming into the treatment plant and the quality of those flows, et cetera. The biology and chemistry I won't get into, but what they basically said was we actually had more capacity than we thought was originally designed. They were talking possibly in excess of 4.2, 4.3 million gallons a day. In addition to the improvements that we'll be making as part of the wastewater treatment upgrade that we talked a little bit about last year, that's still in the pre-engineering mode right now, we feel we can easily accept the additional 250,000 gallons a day without having any issues with regard to Derry's reserved capacity for future growth. In looking at that further, the question was, what incentives would there be for Derry to give up some additional capacity? The town administrator and Senator Birdsell were instrumental in getting legislation passed last year that allows Derry to now charge a 15% surcharge on our out-of-town users. We always were able to do that on the municipal water side, but wastewater, we were required to charge them the same rate as we charge any other Derry customer. So as part of this agreement, the retail rate that we would now charge our out-of-town customers would be 15% more. That will generate $44,000 based on their current flows right now to the Derry facility. We would also structure the additional capacity, again, at Derry's wastewater accessibility fee at additional 10 years to the agreement. So rather than upfronting all of that flow and increasing their annual capacity purchase, we just extended those annual payments. That provision is in the agreement that if they do exceed that at any point in time during the the course of the agreement, that we can then surcharge them whatever that actual flow is coming into the facility. Overall, looking at the fiscal impact, again, that would be based on current flows, $44,000. At build-out, the additional 250,000 gallons a day would generate over $500,000, and at $1.7 million that total bill-out for the revenues based on their wastewater accessibility fee. At that, I would take any questions.
Questions? Council Webb?
I think I know the answer, but I just want to double check. On the fees, if we increase the fees for our customers here in town, their fees will automatically increase by that 15%.
That's correct.
And the other thing is just, again, it goes back to capacity.
Madam Chair, if we could just get the microphone on real quick, sorry.
The other question I have is on capacity, where if, let's say, 5 or 10 years from now, our capacity is beginning to increase and we're bumping up, closer to the maximum capacity of the system. Will we then be restricted in further growth and development here in this town because of our agreement with Londonderry?
When we looked at the facilities plan, we reviewed the town master plan, we looked at zoning, we looked at what we realistically thought our future growth would be. And we built that number into the reserve capacity for Derry. There are things we can do because we have wastewater treatment lagoons, and really our restriction is not in our treatment, it's in our ability to pump that wastewater to the Merrimack River. So the question then becomes, we built an intermediate pump station in Londonderry right now, so that allows us to pump from 4 to 6 million gallons a day. So there are improvements we can make if we do need to get to that point where we need to increase the capacity beyond the 4.2, 4.3 million gallons a day. We just, based on what we see today, in the next 20 years, we don't foresee that. The flows to the wastewater treatment plant right now from Derry have been stagnant for the last several years. We're still right around. As a matter of fact, this year we were the lowest in 1.3, 1.2 million gallons a day. So we've done a lot of work on I&I infiltration, reducing that coming into the plant, so that's helped increase the capacity. So we think we're in really good shape.
Thank you.
Council Chair Chow?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Yep, so Tom, you mentioned that the excess money would it stay in an enterprise fund? I know like water, there was a bill put in by Senator Birdsell that allows us any excess, we could use that for economic development.
Mhm.
This agreement's a little bit different, correct? It would stay in that enterprise fund of wastewater, correct?
I'll let Dave actually answer that question.
We can use it?
Yeah, the law which Senator Birdsell got through the process for us is similar to the water wheeling charges. The only difference is on the water wheeling charges, we can only use half of that.
Right.
Because the other half we needed for treatment costs.
Right.
We'll be receiving the treatment costs under a typical rate, so the entire 15% under this resolution is designated for the Economic Development Fund.
Okay.
And both of those sources of revenue are planned to be used as the local share for the extension of sewer down 28 South.
Right, okay, perfect. And what was the second question I had? Yeah, so if, in the future, if we're using, the lagoons are a certain technology, I guess, but if the feds change any laws or environmental tests, do we have a way of recouping any of that money if there's different standards that come up later on?
So in that respect, we still treat Londonderry as any other customer. So if we have to go up on our rates, if we have to go up, increase our wastewater accessibility fee, they will pay their proportional share, just as any other dairy user would, but in addition to the 15%.
So they're quote unquote, they're a large customer.
They're a large
basically.
customer.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Questions?
Nope.
All right. I'll read it.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion. I move that the council adopt Resolution 2025-009 as follows. Excuse me, to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Londonderry to provide wastewater services. whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter designates the Town Council as a governing and legislative body of the town, and whereas the Department of Public Works has maintained a lengthy relationship with the town of Londonderry by providing wastewater disposal services, and whereas the current agreement to provide services to the town of Londonderry was amended in 2021 pursuant to Resolution 2021-015, and Londonderry has requested additional capacity in service areas to promote its economic development. And whereas SB 589, 2024 session was signed into law by the governor, which recognizes the value of the host community's wastewater utility and provides the additional economic development opportunities for the host community. Now therefore be resolved in council that the town administrator and the town council chair are hereby authorized to execute an amended intermunicipal agreement pursuant to RSA 149-1:4 between the towns of Derry and Londonderry to provide wastewater services through February 2036. Further, the town council hereby authorizes the town of Londonderry to access Derry's wastewater system to service new areas in Londonderry as set forth on the attached map. Finally, as authorized by RSA 149-1:10(1)(a), wastewater surcharge receipts received from Londonderry are to be disposed in the Derry Economic Development Expendable Trust Fund as created by the Town Council under Resolution 2021-047. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage, adopted March 4th, 2025.
All right, motion by Counselor Granessi, second by Counselor Chiricello. On the motion, Counselor Chiricello?
Yes.
Counselor Webb?
Yes.
Counselor Foot?
Yes.
Counselor Flood?
Yes.
Counselor Granessi?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion passes 6-0. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay, counselor comments. Counselor Webb?
I just have one comment before these two speak, and it's on the capital budget. I know it's been brought to the planning board already, but I do have a concern with it in that I think we're going to begin seeing increase in vehicle costs, whether they're fire apparatus, police cruisers, dump trucks, loaders, anything that involves steel or, the average vehicle has 30 to 70% of its parts are now imported. And I'm wondering if the estimates that are going to be in the vehicle side of the capital improvement budget are going to be accurate under today's environment. And, yeah.
Yeah, well, as you know, the CIP is a budget planning document.
Right.
But, so for vehicles proposed to be purchased for the FY26 budget, we'll have to have the department managers look at that a little bit closer to make sure we have adequate funds budgeted. And worst case scenario, we're gonna have to push out some of the purchases into later fiscal years.
Yeah.
But, hopefully we'll know more next 30 days. But right now, since it just happened today,
Correct.
then we're gonna have to see how that shakes out. But, it's really an extension of not so much the tariffs, but, the supply chain issues where, Mike and his team has had to go out on car lots to look for vehicles as opposed to sending out sealed bids because very few of the manufacturers could guarantee delivery of vehicles. So it's just another challenge to get vehicles on the street for us.
Yeah. Other than saying thank you to Doug and Brian, Doug, I've learned a lot about quiet leadership and what it really means to be invested in a community at a personal level and to try to make the lives better for a lot of people in non-traditional ways from you. And Brian, I've known you for a couple of decades through some thick and thin stuff, and I've always admired your dedication to this community and your ability to ask questions that I would never think of. And I appreciate that, and thank you for your service, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last night, we had a Conservation Committee meeting, and there's been the last few months, there's been an active search for a land manager. So they just went and hired a land manager who will be managing all the conservation properties. Elizabeth Carver is the new employee, and I believe, if it's okay with the town administrator and the chair, at March 18th meeting, she would like to come and just introduce herself, whatnot. The Conservation Commission is very aggressive this year. There's a lot of activities and a lot of things they're taking on. So they are also in need of volunteers. So if anyone's interested in joining the Conservation Commission, among other boards, now is a good opportunity to put in for that, beginning with the March 18th meeting when all these vacancies come up. So, with that, and to Doug and Brian, thank you guys for your service. Good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Counselor Ganesi?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo what the Chair, Jack, and Charlie said. I mean, Brian, I met you 17, 18 years ago when I first got on the planning board. I was on the planning board, and I learned a lot because we worked together on the planning board. And, you know, you've been in town for, 18 some odd years and county commissioner. And, I learned a lot from you, and hopefully I can reach out to you in the future if I have any questions. And I just want to thank you for your service for the town, and you brought a lot to the council, and appreciate working with you for the past 2 years. And Doug, same thing. Appreciate all you do for everybody in town. With the, your nonprofit and everything, and everything you've done to the council the past 2 years. And, I just want to say thank you. This is, for you guys stepping up for all that. So I appreciate it. So hopefully I can reach out to you also if I have any questions.
I'm going to let you all close out the night, so before you talk, I just want to say 2 quick things. I want to let you go last and wrap it up. I just want to echo Councilor Foote talking about the boards and committees. We will have a kind of marathon of appointments at the next meeting. So if you are interested in serving on any boards or committees within town, there is a form on the website that you can fill out that will come in, and we definitely would love to have more involvement. And I just want to say a quick thank you that this is, I'm not going anywhere, but my last meeting as chair, and I just want to thank all of you for a great year, for being patient with a first-time chair, and it has been a pleasure working with you all in this capacity, and looking forward to another great year with whoever sits here after the next meeting.
Good,
All right,
good
now-
job. Good job this year.
Thank you. All right, now I'll let you do that.
I don't have all the information on this. This was given to me on my way here. But the state has a new 988 number lifeline that was put in place and funded till this year, 2025. And apparently there's a bill to give it stable funding moving forward. And apparently it's being held up in the state Senate, and there's a possibility of them not funding the 988 lifeline number. So this bill's being voted on Thursday. So in a short notice, if you can reach out to your senators on tomorrow and tell them that you support Senate Bill 255 and try to make the 988 number funded, with some stability. I can tell you in 2016, we did not have that in this state, and I lost my son. And I since then personally know of a couple kids who are still only here today because of this number. So I don't know what the problem is. I unfortunately have not enough information right now, but please just do a little reading and reach out to your senator and ask them to fund it or pass this bill. And on top of that, I just want to thank everybody who believed in me and voted for me, and some people who pushed me out of my comfort zone to do this for 3 years. You guys all made it a lot easier and better than I thought it would. I don't know what to say other than thank you, and yeah.
Thank you. Councilor
My
Churchill?
turn? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I just want to wrap it up. I can't believe this is my second retirement. So I did 9 years, and then I retired, and then I got back in for another 9 years. And the 18 years goes by pretty quickly. I'm very proud of the people that I've worked with over the years. We've done a lot of amazing things. I'm going to wish the new council the best of luck. I know we're in good hands here. Excuse me. Randy Chase will be the councilor that replaces me in District 4. I've known Randy for many, many years. He's grown up here. He's going to do a fantastic job, as well as all of you else too, as well. I know Dave Karen will be retiring soon. I want to thank him very much for the 8 years that he's put in, because I think Derry has turned a corner over those last 9 years. We have a lot more respect than we did 10 years ago. And that's attributed to his professionalism and his demeanor and the calm that he brings to the council. I know Mike will do a fantastic job, because Mike's been, how long have you been here, Mike?
20 years.
20 years, so you've got all the institutional knowledge. You've got some challenges with a lot of our senior staff leaving, but I know that the town's in good hands. So I want to thank all of the voters, especially in District 4. You know, I ran 6 times, and 6 times I won, and it's kind of ironic because Randy ran unopposed. Okay, I've been here 20 years. I've never run unopposed in any election. I've always had competition. But good for him. But I just want to say, you know, to the people at District 4, thank you very much for, you know, letting me speak for you, let me be the voice for the district, whether it be the seniors in the town or the younger generation. People have reached out to me over the years. I've met a lot of friends, so thank you very much, everybody, and I'll be around. I'll be still in Derry anyway. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
both of you.
all right. There's nothing else. All right.
Second?
Motion adjourned by Counselor Cherichello, second by Counselor Flood. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you.